Hi. So we have this. Well, we have these little road stands, right? You've seen them, little road stands piled high with beautiful vegetables. Yeah, that's an addiction for me. It's not good, and it's addiction for my husband as well because yeah, you have all these pretty colors, mounds of tomatoes, mounds of cucumbers, all that cool stuff. It's a problem. So this is what happened. I went to a little roadside market, and because our tomatoes in our garden are not ready yet. They're getting there, but I'd say another couple weeks before they're ready yet. So we like to go to these little road stands because that comes from farmers in the area, and when their products are ready, they sell to the public. So yeah, I went to a road stand and got carried away. There's only two of us. Mind you, the kids and grandkids come over for barbecues, but still, moral of the story, we bought too many tomatoes because I went to the road stand, my husband went to the road stand, and then we went together. So we are left with too many tomatoes. The reason why I want to talk about this is because in your garden, as you know, all your tomatoes are ready at the same time, and sometimes you can't eat them fast enough. So I came up with a really good solution that works very well. I take any extra tomatoes, like these tomatoes, I'm going to keep maybe 2 of them for eating, but the rest of them are definitely going to go bad unless I do something with them, and I can't do something with them because I'm too busy in the garden right now. So what do? You can't just let them go bad. So this is what I learned a few years ago. You take your freezer bag. These tomatoes have skins and vines on them. Good, leave it on. All I did was wash them. Put the whole tomato in the freezer bag. Just like that, right off the vine. Some of them even have the vines still on them. Put all those tomatoes in a freezer bag, because as you know, when you're gardening in the summer, sometimes you have excess that you just can't deal with right now. Clip up the Ziploc bag. Pop this in the freezer just like that, okay? In the winter, when you take that out of the freezer, you run your tomatoes under warm water, and all of the peel, the skin of the tomato comes right off. So your tomato is skinned and ready to cook with. You run it under hot water, off it comes, and you are ready to make one tasty spaghetti sauce or a big pot of chili or some soup, whatever you want to make, and we'll make that together this winter. But that's what I do, and it's awesome because you can't deal with these right now. You don't want them to go bad. Stick them in a bag, put them in the freezer. So to recap, what do you do with all these tomatoes that are ready all at once? Or if you happen to be like me, this is what happens. I work in the garden and I don't know when to stop. My husband says I don't have a stop button. That's the problem. So I work in the garden until I'm completely exhausted. And yeah, so what he does is he takes me for a country ride because it gets me out of the garden, forces me to sit still, and I love country rides. So we go for a little country ride. It's calm, it's good. Then I'm ready to go to sleep. You know, just like you do for newborn babies. If they're crying and they're cranky, you take them for a car ride and then they're ready to go to sleep. So same thing with me, I'm ready to go to sleep. So, but what happens on these car rides is you've got these little vegetable stands from the farmers, and then this is what happens, an overabundance of tomatoes. But the same thing is going to happen in our garden because, like I said, they're all ready together. So all the tomatoes, they get ripe at the same time, it seems. So this is what happens. So to recap, if you have an overabundance of tomatoes out of your garden, you take them skin, vines, all, put them in a freezer bag, put them in the freezer. In the winter, you take them out, run them under lukewarm, a little bit hot water. The skin and vines will come right off, and you're ready to make one great spaghetti sauce. And you don't have to waste your tomatoes. You don't have to deal with them right now because life is busy in the garden. Great way to just leave it for the winter when you have more time. Awesome. One of my favorite things, take your excess garden stuff, stick it in a freezer bag, deal with it later. So don't forget, subscribe, view all the videos, share with your friends, and don't be afraid to comment because that's how we learn from each other. Awesome. Have a great day.